What's up, guys? This is Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about 5 guns you should get right now. Now, if you've been watching the news and you know the state of not only the country, but the world, you know that people are very concerned, and particularly concerned about their personal safety. And I believe every human being is responsible for their own safety. I believe that it is your responsibility to take your safety into account and your family's into account. And if you're capable of doing so, even the safety of those around you, including your neighbors. If you are one of those people looking to take responsibility for not only your safety, but for the safety of others, going out there and protecting people and doing your duty as a solid citizen, this is a really good video for you, because today we're going to be covering several different firearms to cover pretty much all of your needs. And on top of that, we're going to be doing that for a relatively affordable price. Now, we're not going to be sacrificing any reliability, durability, accuracy, or speed. We're just going to be pointing out the best guns for the application you're looking for. We've got some long guns, we've got some shorties, we've got some PCCs, we've got some carry guns, we got all kinds of different firearms on this list to help you find what you're looking for. Now, before we get into the video, I want to mention that it's more important to be well trained than it is to get a good firearm, and it's more important to have a good mindset when it comes to self-defense and personal defense. You not only have to train your body, but you have to train your mind as well.
Come at me, bro.
Keep that in mind when you are watching this video, that you can't just go out and buy a good gun and not train with it. If you budget yourself $400 or $500 for a firearm, make sure you also budget $400 or $500 for ammunition to make sure that using that firearm is not only safe, but it's second nature. Because if something happens, like a riot or a home invasion, or maybe somebody tries to rob you at the gas station, tries to stab you with a screwdriver, you're not going to be thinking about how to use your firearm. You're going to be thinking about the scary guy with the screwdriver. So make sure you go out there and you train with whatever firearm that you choose to get for self-defense. With that being said, let's get right into it here with number 1, and that is going to be a concealed carry pistol. Now, a concealed carry pistol is probably the thing you should get if you're concerned about your safety the most. And the reason why I say that is because a concealed carry pistol works for not only urban areas, but rural areas. It works for anywhere that you're going to be. On top of that, it keeps the element of surprise. A lot of people are big on open carry right now because of constitutional carry. I love constitutional carry, but open carry is a tactical error. If you are open carrying a firearm, you are generally the first person the criminal or the dickhead of whatever nature targets. It makes you a very easy target, even for unarmed opponents. A guy that is unarmed can be armed very quickly if he grabs your gun from behind you while you're not paying attention. If you don't believe me, there's many videos on the internet of even police officers walking around in crowded areas and they get their gun taken and they get it used on them. So make sure to have a concealed carry pistol. That way you can counter ambush the ambush. And I think it is the best tool for keeping a civilian safe in a civilized country. I think possibly the best concealed carry gun for the year is going to be the Canik Prime. Now, the Canik Prime was released this year in 2025. It is a striker-fired polymer frame pistol with a 3.6-inch barrel. It has an included compensator on it, a red HD front sight with a blacked out rear. It has a optic cut for an RMS shield, but you can use the Holosuns, you can use the SIGs, and Canik even has their own that comes with it already mounted. If you don't want to mount an optic, you can get that one. Just know that Canik optic is a little less reliable than something like the SIG Romeo. It comes with front and rear slide serrations. It comes with really good texture on the grip, a very high grip, and most importantly, it is very small, very light, smaller than a Glock 19 and lighter than it as well, only 1 inch wide, so it's super easy to carry, and it carries a 17+1 round magazine capacity. So whatever situation you might find yourself in, whether that be a concealed carry situation, or if you're only going to get one gun on this list and you get this one, you can use this for home defense or even civil unrest if you need to. Reliable, very durable, extremely accurate, and extremely shootable. Not only is it small and lightweight, but because of the compensator, it controls the recoil relatively well for a small pistol. Best thing about the gun, besides the capacity and size to weight ratio, is going to be that trigger. Now, especially for new shooters, it is very difficult to learn trigger control. And with a trigger as light and nice as this gun is, with as short as reset as this gun has, it's very easy not only to get accurate shots, but quick follow-up shots in case one doesn't do the job. If you're concerned about your safety and you haven't purchased a firearm yet, I think the Canik MC9 Prime is a really good choice. If you're a small-statured person and you're not sure if you like recoil or not, this is a good way to get into a small gun with less recoil, a really good trigger, and you can guarantee quality on guns like this. It's a little bit higher quality than Canik's entry-level guns, and I have experienced no malfunctions with this firearm over the course of over 1,000 rounds. Very impressive gun and one of the best guns of of 2025. Now, if you want to go smaller than that, I absolutely understand. So we have a second option for you, and that is going to be the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. Now, this is another firearm that came out in 2025, and in my opinion, this is the best deep conceal firearm on the market. This is the best 380 pistol, in my opinion, that has ever been made. This is a 3.5-inch barrel with an included compensator, just like the Canik, but instead of 9mm, we have 380, so it's even less recoil and an even smaller and lighter package. We only have iron sights on this pistol because the gun is literally so thin that optics really don't fit on it. You can get some aftermarket companies to put them on there, but in my opinion, the optic sticks out so far from the sides, it can make it a little bit uncomfortable, and this is more of a belly gun, point and shoot sort of thing anyway, although trust me, if you practice with this, you can hit up to 50 yards, which is pretty impressive. Now, part of that is due to the sights. The front HD and the blacked out rear is a really good sighting setup, but the real star of the show is going to be the grip and the trigger. For the first time ever on a 380 pistol, they actually thought about you shooting it and not just carrying it. So even though it's super lightweight, it is literally smaller and lighter than your freaking smartphone, and this gun can carry 10 rounds of 380 ACP in this tiny little package. Now, the trigger on this gun is absolutely insane, which is really good on a 380 because these guns are so small, it can make it very, very difficult to get accurate hits. And on a 380, you need to get accurate hits because the round is probably the smallest that you're going to want to carry while still getting good penetration and good ballistics out of the pistol. The grip is excellent, and again, it comes with one 10-round magazine and one 12-round magazine, so you can carry 10 plus 1 in the gun and have another 12 in your pocket, and you can be ready for pretty much anything with the smallest little loadout that you could possibly imagine. Now, this gun comes for around $500 to $700 depending on where you buy the gun, so not only is it one of the best guns you can buy, but it's affordable enough for you to actually get. Oh, and holsters are available. Now, I recommend this firearm not just because it's good, but because I personally carry this frequently. I carry this on walks, I carry it on jogs, I carry it if I go to the gym, and it's become one of my constant companions. Back in the day, even when you didn't even think you needed a gun, you just bring a knife or maybe a pocket pistol, now you can have a capable cartridge for whenever you need it. I should mention that the Canik Prime is also around $700, making it extremely affordable as well. Now, at number 2, we're going to talk about some pistol caliber carbines. In case you want to have the same round as your concealed carry gun that you just got, and you want a long gun platform that takes maybe the same mags or the same ammunition, you can get one. Now, in my opinion, the best pistol caliber carbine to come out this year is going to be the Springfield Kuna. I did all that with no dot. Now, the Springfield Kuna is sort of the MP5 light. It really is an impressive firearm. It is the Croatian demon. The Springfield Kuna is a roller delayed 9mm pistol caliber carbine with a 5-inch barrel and superior ergonomics even to the MP5. Very lightweight, very reliable, and very durable. We have a 1,000-round review and a mud test with this firearm, all of which were absolutely exceptional. We also did several drop tests for this to make sure it was durable for you. If you're looking for a bag gun that takes the same caliber as your Canik Prime, this is it right here. Comes with a folding brace or Picatinny rail adapter on the back, so you can fold this up super small and put it in whatever you need to put it in, whether that be a bag or under the seat of your truck, and you can have it with you all the time. But unlike the MP5, which is amazing but a little dated, the controls are more ergonomic. We have a folding charging handle on the front, we have an ambi safety and ambi slide lock and slide release with an ambi magazine release, so if you're right or left-handed, you can use the gun very easily. Easy takedown, M-LOK rail on the front, Picatinny rail on the top, and it comes with iron sights. So if you don't want to spring for an optic, you can run these until you can save up for one. Super good trigger, and the recoil and pulse on the roller delayed guns are incredible. For only about 5 or 6 pounds, you can have an extremely capable 9mm PCC that not only you can use for a bug out gun, you can use it for a PDW on a regular basis, you can use it for a home defense gun, you can go out and compete with this thing and win in PCC division. This is one of the best pistol caliber carbines ever made, and it came out in 2025, so if you haven't tried one out yet, check it out. Probably the best gun Springfield's ever made. Now, that gun's $1,000, so it's gonna be a little more pricey than some of the other guns on the list, but I have a little bit more affordable one for you, and as it turns out, it's a little more powerful too. Now, for the second option, I wanted to do the Smith & Wesson FPC 10mm. Now, I know it's the second Smith & Wesson on the list, but I think it's worth a mention. For all you out there who want that pistol caliber carbine and you want that good bag gun, but you only want to pay $500, well, this is a pretty good way to go. The FPC is not only extremely affordable, but it's extremely durable in either 10mm or 9mm, and you can definitely get the 9mm version. It takes the M&P mag, so if you want to run an M&P, you can do that. But the 10mm version really really has a sweet spot in my heart because you can get almost rifle ballistics out of a pistol caliber carbine that folds and fits neatly into a backpack, which is very nice. The gun hits really hard. It's a ton of fun at the range. And like I said, it's only $500. Now, in at number 3, we're going to talk about a hunting rifle. Now, this isn't for all of you, but for a lot of you out there who are looking for a solid hunting rifle, I have some extremely good options for you for this year. First up, if you're looking for small game, I don't think there is anything better than the Ruger 1022 Magpul Hunter. This is the most fun I've had with my pants on in a while. And if you're worried about self-defense and home defense, you can also use this gun for that. And it's probably the best sort of shit hit the fan survival rifle that you can possibly get. Now, if you're not worried about any of that stuff, the best training gun in the world is also a 22, which this will also work for. So it's kind of an all-encompassing rifle that you can use whether you live on a ranch or whether you live in an apartment. It's going to work for both. Now, the Ruger 1022 is a well-known commodity and has been around for many years. But what hasn't been around for many years is this Magpul chassis and this bomb-ass barrel. And this combination of the Ruger 1022 system, which has been slicked up a little bit, and this new target barrel here that we have, and the Magpul chassis, makes an old classic sort of a modern must-have. The stock is extremely ergonomic and really easy to use. It is lightweight and extremely accurate. The Ruger 1022 action is very reliable, and this gun for us shot about 1-inch groups at 50 yards, which is extremely accurate, especially for bulk 22 ammunition that you can get for a fraction of 9mm or 5.56. Now, it'll do in a pinch for home defense, but it's better left as a plinking gun or a small game gun. If you're out there and you want to hunt some squirrels, if you want to hunt some rabbits, some raccoons, or maybe you have rodent disposal to deal with, or whatever needs you might have. Let's say you need to go out and shoot pop cans at 300 yards. You can do that with the Magpul Hunter. Now, this gun is around $600, but it's worth absolutely every penny, especially because it doesn't take much to feed and you can shoot it for a lifetime for a very affordable price. Now, if you're hunting some bigger game, you might be interested in a bolt action rifle. And I think the best bolt action rifle that I've personally shot this year is the Tikka T3X. Probably the smoothest action of any bolt action rifle under $2,000 that I've ever shot. Comes with a very lightweight polymer stock that's still extremely useful. Good recoil butt pad, a threaded barrel, and a solid mounting system for optics. Has a really good trigger out of the box, and the controls are very simple. But the best part about the Tikka T3 is that it shot sub MOA for less than $700. Also comes with a pretty cool stainless look to it, which I don't actually have in my collection, so it's a pretty good addition. Now, the Tikka T3X can be used for anything you can think of for your long range needs. Whether you want to get it in a smaller caliber and shoot small game, like I mentioned with the 1022, you want to get it in 5.56 or 223 so you can use the same ammo you use in your AR-15, you can just reach out 200 or 300 more yards. Or if you want to get in a big boy caliber like 6.5, 308, or maybe 300 Win Mag, you can take down whatever game you need to in North America. I mean, 300 Win Mag can take down a moose, so I think you're good to go. Now, the gun itself has a very smooth action. I can't stress that enough, and I think that plus the trigger and the reliability of the gun is possibly the most important factors in a bolt action rifle. And after shooting the Tikka T3X, I don't know if I see a reason to buy more expensive bolt guns, at least for me. It does the job I need to well out to 400 yards, and for $700, that kind of quality, that kind of accuracy is an absolute steal. Now, in at number 4, who doesn't need a good shotgun? And I think if I were gonna get a shotgun in 2025, I think I'd spring for a semi-auto. So for number 4, we're gonna have the Mossberg 940 Pro. Now, the Mossberg 940 Pro is sort of the love child of Jerry Miculek. And Jerry Miculek, as you guys may or may not know, is arguably the greatest shooter who ever lived. He also has been sponsored by Mossberg and been involved in Mossberg for many years. And they sort of worked out all the kinks in the 930 to give you the 940. Now, the 930 was received kind of lukewarm. However, the 940 has an incredible reception. We actually did a first shots on this gun a couple of weeks ago, and I was extremely impressed. I like it. I don't do a lot of shotgun content, but when I find what I like, man, I sure do like pumping the rounds out. And this shotgun has a couple hundred rounds through it already in the last 2 weeks, and it has been extremely reliable for a semi-automatic gun. And there's a lot of advantages to a semi-automatic shotgun over pumps, and there's a lot of advantages for pumps as well, which we'll get to in a second. Now, the Mossberg 940 is a 18-inch semi-automatic gas-operated shotgun with a 7+1 capacity. So you can pretty much handle anything you need to handle. It has one of the best furniture sets of any shotgun I've ever tried. It has a very comfortable stock with good texture on the grip. Also has a good recoil pad, and then the fore end of the shotgun is one of the most impressive I've ever had. It has good texturing on the grip. It has kind of a vent rib look to it that looks great, and it also has included QD mounts and M-LOK slots, so if you want to put a weapon light on the gun, which I absolutely recommend for self-defense, you can 100% do that. If you want to add 2 weapon lights or even 3, you can do that as well. You probably shouldn't, but you can, because there's also M-LOK slots on the barrel clamp and under the handguard as well. Now, one of my favorite parts about the gun is the lifter is very smooth and super easy to load, especially by comparison to some of its Italian alternatives, which used to be superior, but no more. America's back, baby. The charging handle is also enlarged, and so is the bolt release, so you can easily hit them when you want to. The sights are great. It has a fiber optic front, which is covered by some ears, so they're protected, and it has a ghost ring rear. It also is drilled and tapped for a rail that you can put on top. Now, if you don't want to put an optic on the rail, you don't have to do that, because you can take the rear sight right off and you can put on a Holosun or a Shield RMS sight direct mounted to the receiver for a very low and easy to use sight picture. Now, the best part about the shotgun, other than being reliable, it is very soft shooting, and it is actually pretty affordable. We picked this gun up for less than $1,000. We got it for $800. And for all the features on this gun can hang with the Benelli M4s and the Beretta 1301s of the world, but it does it for about half the price. And again, it's American made. Now, if $800 is too much, I completely understand. We're going to give you an alternative, an old classic, and that is going to be the Mossberg 88. Mention the Mossberg 88 a lot, but has a special place in my heart. The first Mossberg 88 I ever purchased, I actually got from a pawn shop when I was 19 years old. I got it. It was a police trade-in, and it was $150 for the pistol grip tactical stock version, and I was in love. Oh my God. Now, my buddy Max actually got an AK for $300, but I didn't have $300, so I got what I could. The Mossberg 88 has been living in a special place in my head ever since. I shot tons of rounds through that gun, and I couldn't believe how reliable and how shootable it was for the $150 price point. I think it works. Now, it's not $150 anymore. It's like $250, which is crazy because that was almost 20 years ago, and the guns are still affordable. They're still available. They're still reliable, and they're still good to go. So if you want the best gun, maybe under $200, and you're looking for a shotgun, the Mossberg 88 has got you covered. Now, finally, at number 5, if you're really concerned about your safety, especially with all the civil unrest, the riots, and all the craziness of 2025, the best tool at your disposal is going to be a semi-automatic rifle. It has been and will always be the king of self-defense. Now, I know a lot of people will tell you that an AR-15 is not what you should get, but I'm here to tell you it is what you should get, especially if you're a small-statured person, especially if you're afraid of guns. An AR-15 is not only reliable, extremely effective, it's affordable, and it's very, very easy to shoot. Now, I know a lot of you guys have seen clips of CNN reporters and would-be journalists screaming and crying when they shoot the AR-15. Watch a few clips of my wife, who is 5'2", shooting an AR-15.
I love me an AR, baby.
Now, if you're finally convinced and you've decided you want an AR-15 because you want low recoil, you want a reliable gun, you want available ammunition with available parts, and you want to go down to your gun store and pick out the best tool for defense for under $500, I present to you the Radical Arms AR-15. Now, the Radical Arms is a gun that I wasn't interested at all until a couple of weeks ago. We've had several of them on the channel, and they were pretty good, don't get me wrong, but I recently picked one up that was $360. This guy right here, this is a $360 AR-15 that we have over 500 rounds through without a single failure. The gun comes with solid furniture, a B5 grip, and a B5 stock, so no need to change that. It comes with a mil-spec trigger, a single-sided safety, and it comes with a 15-inch M-LOK rail. It also has a mid-length gas system, which is something you just have to pay $500 to $1,000 to get back in the day. Now, this is my flash hider, but it comes with an A2, and it comes with everything that you need to get started in the AR-15 market. All you need to do is pay $360 for your gun, get a couple of magazines and a whole bunch of ammo, and go out there and have fun and practice, and you will probably have one of the best self-defense tools on the market today. Now, you are going to sacrifice a little bit with a $360 gun. The build quality of the gun will be a little bit less than something more expensive, but if you only have $400, this is an incredible tool. If you have a little bit more than that, I would absolutely recommend you spending around $700 and buying yourself a Smith Smith & Wesson Sport 3. Now, the Smith & Wesson AR series has been extremely good to go for the money for many, many years. Going back all the way to the Sport 1, which is arguably the best rifle for the money ever, then the Sport 2, which was extremely well received, and finally the Sport 3. Just like the Radical, it has a 15-inch M-LOK rail, a mid-length gas system with a 16-inch barrel. It comes with pretty decent furniture, a better trigger than the Radical, comes with a forward assist, and in my opinion, slightly higher quality internals. Both of them are great, but the Smith & Wesson will probably last you a little bit longer, and if you're interested in long-term durability, shooting thousands and thousands of rounds, I would probably look into something a little more expensive. But if you just want something that you're going to shoot every once in a while and it's going to be good to go for home defense, the Radical is still a great choice. Overall, both of them are hard to beat. It just depends on what price point that you're looking at. In all fairness, if you took either one of them to range and they were more than 10 feet away, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. An AR-15 is an AR-15 after all. However, these just happen to be the two most reliable, durable, accurate rifles we've had for the money in a long time. Hopefully this list helps you guys out and helps you figure out what's right for you for home defense, for self-defense, for hunting, for concealed carry, or whatever you're looking to get a gun for this year. Now remember, again, make sure to get out there and train with these firearms. Not only is it fun, but it'll make you a more useful part of society, it'll make you safer, and it'll help you protect your family. So it's a win-win-win-win. And it's a pretty good excuse to tell your wife you're going out to shoot. You have to save the world after all. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.